Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to go through with you the 2021 budget, what we spent at the start of last year. I obviously made this out with you guys. We were in a different situation back then, so I'll go through that as I get into it here, but I just thought it would be a good video to kind of look back on the previous year, see where we've came or how far we've come, and see what are the major differences of what I have set out. So yeah, without further ado, let's just jump in. So first I'll just move these ones out and I'll bring them back in further along in the video. But you can see here there's income. I never share our income amounts, just the way it was. So realistically, the way it would have started at the start of last year would have been that I wasn't working when I made this video. So what happens was, with the children's allowance, that would have been 140 euros per month over the 12 months, making 1680 would have been what was put in there. I would have started off with nothing. I wouldn't have had a job, so you know, maybe I thought I was going to be able to take some money from like my Etsy or my YouTube or something, or maybe I just put myself on there to make myself feel just a little bit more important. But if we ignore the income side of things and then look into this, so first off we have fixed expenses here. So you can see rent is blanked out, because the way I kind of like to do it is so you can't really guess our income as such, because I leave the rent free. You see lots of people do it with their mortgage amounts and all that sort of stuff when they're not sharing their income. So rent was whatever it was. Next up we have bins. So these are our general waste, recycling and a compost bin. It's every single month, and it ended up being 263 euros 65 cent. So you can see it was like what, 13 cent or so lower, 23 cent lower. Next up we have phones. So that's my mobile phone and Robert's mobile phone, and combined they ended up being 287 euros 49 cents. So again, it was like 12 euros in the difference there, which is good. So then broadband was going to be 360 euros for the year. Now we had to change broadband provider, and I couldn't get my broadband deal. I had to go up to the lowest one at the time. So it ended up being 403 euros 19 cent used towards our broadband last year. So you can see that's like a 40 euro adjustment. Next up is Netflix. Netflix ended up being 95 euros 62 cent. So again, there's like a couple of cents there in the difference. And then utilities. So utilities ended up being, so utilities I'm going to put down here. See, I'm not quite sure with some of them whether this is what I plan to save or put towards it. But in actual fact, I'm just going with what we actually spent in these categories. So I had planned 1,357 euros. And it ended up being 1,038 euros 2 cent is what it ended up being there. So next off we have the variable expenses. So car insurance was going to be 702, and that ended up being, which is hard to write on this big thick coil, so it ended up being 734 euros 15 cent. So our car insurance was higher than we wanted it to be. We do have an older car, which influences the price because we don't have any penalty points or anything like that. It's just the age of our car that's the issue. So car tax is car and motorbike. So the same with car. So it's car and motorbike insurance was this amount, and then car, motorbike tax and the car NCT. So it was going to be 587, and it ended up being 569. So there was a couple of euros saving there. School, I had planned to spend 300 euros on Ava, and we ended up spending 332 euros 46 cent. Now some of this money, actually we didn't physically spend 300 euros of our own money. We got money from Robert's mother gave us some money towards Ava's uniform. So you know, we didn't actually spend, but it was physical money she gave us. Anyways, I had planned to spend 1,500 euros on Christmas, and I thought I did until I just looked there, and it ended up we spent 1,767 euros 48 cents. So I'm not quite sure how that happened, but I think next year I'm going to track my expenses for Christmas in a total different way, so I can try as hard as I can to stay within the limit. So our main goal at the start of 2021 was to get our emergency fund up to 6,000 euros. So you can see I had 6,100 euros there, and we did achieve the 6,000 euros in an emergency fund. So to add those ones all together, so we have 734.15, 569, 332.46, 1767.48, and then 6,000, making it 9,397 euros 9 cents. So it was more than we had planned. On to the next section here, which is our cash envelope. So we had groceries. So groceries was 5,200, and we ended up spending 5,419 euros 77 cents. So as you can see, it was more. With our petrol, I had planned 2,080 euros, and somehow miraculously it was lower. It was 1,817 euros 67 cents, and I'm not quite sure how that happened, but I do know for a fact for 1 litre of unleaded petrol right now, it's €1.75. So I think there's like 5 gallons or 5 litres in a gallon. So if we're at 1.75 per litre, so per gallon we're paying like $8 or something, nearly $9 if my calculations are correct. So just to kind of put it in perspective for my American viewers, if there is 5 litres per gallon, let me just Google that actually. Let me see how many litres per gallon there is. Oh no, I was wrong. 4 litres works out as around 106 of a gallon. So if we do 175 by 4, so it's working out about €7 per gallon for petrol right now. So this coming year is going to be an extortionate amount. Last year we had less than petrol. Eating out eating out was 700 euros I had planned, and it ended up being 2,159 euros and 44 cents. Like, that is diabolical. Absolutely awful that we eat out that much. And then unbudgeted did end up being 481 euros 95 cents. So not great with that perspective that we've gone over pretty much in all of them. So 4,519.77 plus 1,817.67, 2,159.44, and then 4,819.95 ended up being 9,878 euros 83 cents in that category, which is pretty much 2,000 euros over what we had planned. Next up, we have into the sinking funds. So I think this meant that we were going to spend 300 euros. I'm not quite sure. But either way, I'm going to put in how much we physically spent. So it was 679 euros 18 cents. With the clothing, we ended up spending 662 euros 30 cents. Pet care, before our poor dog had to be put down because of illness, we spent 731 euros 99 cents. Medical, we ended up spending 859 euros 64 cents. Ava ended up being 214 euros 45 cents. And then other was just an accumulation of all of our other goals that we had for 2021, along with some other categories. And I had said 4,709 euros, and it ended up being 6,775 euros and a cent. So it ended up being more, which is the theme of this. So 679.18 plus 662.30, 731.99, 859.64, 214.45, and then 6775.01. 9,922 euros 57 cent. So now if we come down to the bottom here, you can see the income and the fixed expenses weren't included. So we move on to the variable, and the variable ended up being 9,397 euros 9 cent, which is, so 9,397.09 minus 9,189. We were off by 208 euros. So the cash envelopes ended up being 9,878 euros 83 cent. So that means that we were off by, so 9,878.83 minus 780. Oh, I added that, didn't I? 9,878.83. Oh my god. 9,878.83 minus 7,980. 1,898 euros 83 cent. And then with the sinking funds, it ended up being 9,922 euros 57 cent. Which ended up being out by 3,223 euros 18 cent. So you can see a lot of money was spent in the difference of last year, but we did bring in a lot more money than I had planned at the start of the year, because I did get a job. You know, so I got a part-time job. Sometimes it was 20 hours a week during the summer months, and during the winter months it was 25 or 30 hours per week. It did kind of counterbalance itself. But onto the good side of things. But the first big goal that we achieved in 2021 is that we saved 6,000 euros towards an emergency fund. So this is one of my emergency fund trackers that you can buy as a printable on my Etsy shop. And you can see it's all colored in, and we saved 6,000 euros. So, you know, that was such a highlight for us. And then onto our mortgage deposit. So I had never thought at the start of 2021 that I was going to be able to start saving towards a mortgage. And realistically, at the end, as of December 2021, the money that we have in our mortgage is 10,240 euros. So, you know, that's a massive amount. Like, and some of these need to be filled back in. So if we go 10,240 divided by the 200 here, it's 51 squares of it need to be filled in. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40. So I can fill it up to here. We have over pretty much half of the 20,000 that we needed completed. And I never ever thought that on top of the 6,000 of the emergency fund that we'd be able to save 10 more thousand. Pretty much every single cent of my wages went towards our goals. You know, the odd week, obviously things will come up. And then also we started to save for a Disney holiday. So the Disney holiday came purely from my kind of like side money. And on the Disney fund, as of the end of December, there was 78% of it done. So is that what this is at? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Yeah, so it would have been to here of it done. You know, so we have achieved, whilst we have spent a lot of money, as you can see over here, being what, like 5,000-6,000 more, we also managed to save a lot of money, being 6,000 for our emergency fund, 10,240 for the mortgage deposit, and then 1,576 euro towards Disney, along with saving for each individual thing like summer holidays, you know, all of our birthdays, garden, we put money towards garden, new barbecues, a new Xbox for Robert, like these sorts of things. So yeah, I am pretty happy with the way that our savings have went. Some of the areas here, like the eating out being the one that sticks out the most, you know, that's obviously very, you know, that's us choosing to be lazy and not cook the food that we probably have in our fridge. But then we have this. Then we have this where we've pretty much 18,000 euros saved in a year, and I think that's pretty good. So that is today's video. That's how our spending and our savings went for the year 2021. I will be doing another video where I kind of do the same thing, where I lay out our 2022 budget. Probably next week I'll do that, and again at the end of 2022 we will reassess and see where we're standing. I might do it a little bit different than this. I might get kind of more in-depth into it so I can see each area what we're spending. But yes, I want to thank you so much for watching today's video, for listening to me ramble on. I hope 2021 was good for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.